Good evening and welcome to Extreme Bio Business. I'm Kate Containment and tonight we will be running a feature segment about quarantine in Australia and more specifically the effectiveness of quarantine in preventing the spread of plant and animal disease into and around our beautiful country. Quarantine is a period of isolation to prevent the spread of a contagious disease. It refers to all the measures taken to minimise the risk of infectious diseases entering Australia. Quarantine is essential to the maintenance of Australia's highly favourable human, animal and plant health status and is an important element in the regulatory framework that governs trade within and between nations. Behind me are a few banned and prohibited items that you're not allowed to bring into Australia, such as fruit, vegetables, animals, poultry and meat products. We are now crossing live to Border Security Bob, who is out in the field on the Border Security Program to further discuss these quarantine measures. How is the quarantine situation going so far, Bob?
Thanks, Kate. Down here on the Border Security line, we've had nothing too serious so far. These quarantine inspectors operate 24 hours a day at all main points of entry, both ship and aircraft, into Australia. They are employed by AQIS, which is the Australian Quarantine and Inspection Service, and check people entering and the items they bring are abiding by the strict quarantine laws of our country.
Ma'am, you're going to have to come with me. That you brought these strawberries into Australia with you and they could contain many of the infectious grass diseases that are not allowed into Australia.
No, but I was hungry.
Well, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to confiscate these strawberries from you because they could be infected. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Wow, this just got serious. Back to you, Kate.
What are some of the current quarantine practices being undertaken in and around Australia?
Well, Kate, for overseas, like coming into Australia, our quarantine procedures all prevent any introduced species that could be infected, and legislation specifies all the prohibited goods that you're not allowed to bring in. And the AQIS performs a lot of inspections at all the international borders and mail exchanges, and dog teams are used to sniff out all the prohibited goods from people when they're going through, and they've also got x-ray inspections of luggage, and all machinery must be checked so that it's clean from all the debris and seeds and stuff. And then interstate, you've got these checkpoints at the border, and basically if you've got any food or anything like that that you aren't allowed to take into the next state, then you can either eat it straight away before you cross the border, or you've got to put it in a special big bin to get rid of it all. And it's compulsory that you dispose of all these restricted products, and each state has different products that you're not allowed to take in.
So this is a list of all the diseases that we are currently looking out for in Australia to quarantine against. So the permanent disease is found in banana plants and produces yellowing wilton disease as a fungal disease in the plant, and it was recently found on October this year in a farm up in northern Queensland, and the quarantine program is stopping the spread of this disease across the country. So rabies is a highly contagious disease that is transmitted through licking, bites and scratches from all infected organisms, and so you need to be vaccinated. The program is extremely effective in preventing all these diseases. So modernised quarantine program today is very effective and efficient, and it's due to our geographical isolation that helps us to be so efficient with all of this. So that's really good. In 1996, the government committed $76 million over a 4-year period to implement new approaches to quarantine so that it's a lot more effective nowadays. And it's been improved, like the effectiveness has been improved through the strengthening of quarantine border controls, the development of national awareness campaigns and continuous improvements of operational management and planning of quarantine programs. So this has helped to stop the introduction of many deadly diseases into and around our country. And a good example of this is mad cow disease, where they don't let people into the country if they've been in England for the period of time that the mad cow disease was around. So the maintenance of quarantine is a professional, scientifically based and adequately resourced quarantine service and is one of the fundamental grounds on which our quarantine is based on here in Australia.
We hope tonight's program provided you with a better understanding on quarantine in Australia and its effectiveness in preventing the spread of plant and animal diseases. Hang on. We're going into lockdown!